Kendrick Lamar's Reincarnated opens the second section of GNX with poetic brilliance, continuing the Spanish language motif introduced earlier in the album, but this time it's layered over a haunting sample of Tupac Made Niggas, paying tribute to the West Coast legend while bridging generations of black artistry. I already broke down the full album, but I had to make this video because Reincarnated isn't just a song, it's a masterpiece. Kendrick weaves together layers of meaning, and trust me, you want to stick around for the whole breakdown because the third verse, that's where everything clicks. It's basically the key to understanding the whole track. So let's get into it. So in this track, Kendrick connects with artists from past figures whose lives shaped their times and whose struggles mirror the trials of today. He paints a vivid picture of his past lives through John Lee Hooker, the groundbreaking R&B guitarist from Michigan, and a female chitlin circuit vocalist whose fame was shadowed by struggle with substance abuse, likely a reference to the legendary Billie Holiday. But Kendrick isn't claiming to be them in a literal sense. Instead, he suggests that today's black artists inherit the legacy, triumphs, and the lessons of their ancestor, reincarnating their greatness while striving to avoid their pitfalls. With each artistic reincarnation, we have a chance to move closer to God's vision for life and creativity, learning from the tortured brilliance of those who came before. He opens the first verse with the perspective of John Lee Hooker, a legendary blues guitarist who revolutionized the genre during the mid-20th century. Hooker's life and career provide a foundation for Kendrick's exploration of reincarnation and the cyclical nature of sin and redemption. The verse begins with Kendrick referencing past life regression, a spiritual practice that explores previous incarnations of the soul.
I did past life progression last year and it fucked me up. Reincarnated on this earth for 100+.
He suggests he embodies the talents and lessons of the past artists, including Hooker. He also takes on the persona of Lucifer, the fallen angel cast out of heaven who wanders the earth, manipulating human lives and learning about himself along the way. This dual perspective adds depth to the theme as Kendrick explores how each incarnation shapes the next. In the lines,
let's take it back to Michigan in 1947. My father kicked me out the house cause I wouldn't listen to him.
He draws a contrast between Hooker's early life and his own experiences. The motive of being kicked out of the house is repeated in the song, possibly symbolizing a recurring lesson or challenge in life. It's possible that the song is not literally about being physically evicted, but rather about facing similar consequences for repeated mistakes.
Gifted as a musician, I play guitar on a grand level. The most talented where I'm from, but I had to rebel.
In these lines, Hooker's rise to fame is depicted vividly.
And so I'm off in the sunset, searching for my place in the world, with my guitar up on my hip. That's the story unfurled.
This reflects not only Hooker's journey as a revolutionary guitarist, but also the symbol of the wandering artist seeking purpose. The nickname Boogeyman, which Hooker used to outwit corrupt record labels, draws a direct parallel to Kendrick, who has also embraced this nickname. It symbolizes rebellion against oppressive systems and the pursuit of artistic freedom. However, the verse takes a darker turn.
But I manipulated power as I lied to the masses. Died with my money, gluttony was too attractive.
Here Kendrick critiques Hooker's commercialization and self-indulgence. Hooker licensed his music widely, appearing in commercials and films, and embraced a luxurious lifestyle. He was a commercial success right up until his death. However, other than his contributions to the blues genre, he was not known for any sort of charitable works. While he achieved commercial successes, Kendrick questions whether Hooker's choices aligned with higher artistic or moral purposes.
Reincarnated.
The recurring use of reincarnated signals the death of this life, suggesting Hooker's gluttony and manipulation led to his demise. It also sets the stage for the next verse, continuing the cycle of reincarnation, where new lives inherit the lessons and struggles of the past. In the second verse of Reincarnated, Kendrick shifts to narrate the life of Billie Holiday, the iconic jazz and blues singer whose legacy is intertwined with her angelic voice, groundbreaking artistry, and the tragic battle with addiction. Through vivid imagery and historical references, Kendrick uses Holiday's story to explore themes of struggle, sin, and redemption, linking it to the concept of reincarnation.
Another life it placed me as a black woman in the chitlin circuit.
A black woman navigating the segregated chitlin circuits. This network of venues gave black artists a platform during segregation, and Holiday dominated this space despite the relentless racism and adversity she faced. Her ability to rise above these challenges and command the circuit speaks to her exceptional talent.
Seductive vocalist as the promoter hit the curtains. My voice was angelic straight from heaven, the crowd sobbed.
In these lines, he highlights Holiday's beautiful voice, which carried immense emotional weight and connected deeply with listeners. Her singing was so profound that it often moved audiences to tears. However, Kendrick intertwines this with the spiritual symbolism of Lucifer, the fallen angel, implying a duality. Holiday's voice may have come from heaven, but her life was shadowed by earth. His brilliance as a musical genius is undeniable, which Kendrick describes as physically and emotionally restrictive, akin to a fetus trapped in the womb. This imagery reflects the numbing yet paralyzing grip of addiction.
Turned on my family, I went wherever cameras be. Cocaine, no private planes for my insanity.
In these lines, he portrays the separation caused by addiction and fame. For Holiday, her success and struggles disconnected her from her family, leaving her to chase validation in the public eye while privately battling her demons.
I needed drugs. To me, an 8-ball was like penicillin, fuck love.
In these lines, Kendrick uses layered wordplay. 8-ball refers to a quantity of cocaine or heroin, equating it to penicillin, a life-saving drug, to highlight the dependency on substances to numb pain.
My happiness was in that brown sugar.
Brown sugar serves as a double entendre, referencing heroin and potentially Holiday's romantic relationships with women.
Sex and melodies gave me hope when nobody's looking.
This line reflects Holiday's tendency to find support in fleeting pleasures, be it drugs, sex, or music, during her turbulent life.
My first assistant was a small town scholar, never did a quaalude till I got myself around her.
This line could allude to Holiday's rumored romantic relationship with actress Tallulah Bankhead. Bankhead was notorious for her substance abuse and extravagant lifestyle, which likely influenced Holiday's descent into harder drugs like narcotics and quaaludes. Bankhead, though not from a small town, was significantly less general than Holiday's roots in Philadelphia. Her intellectual and theatrical prowess made her a captivating figure, but also a toxic influence on Holiday's already fragile state.
My daddy looked the other way, he saw sin in me. I died with syringes pinched in me. Reincarnated.
This concluding line connects Holiday's struggles with addiction to estrangement from her father and metaphorically from God. The reference to syringes directly ties to Holiday's tragic death in 1959, likely due to heroin use. The recurring word reincarnated underscores the cyclical nature of suffering and sin. Holiday's music, like Lucifer's gifts, was transformative, yet her life was marked by struggles with sin, manipulation, and addiction. In this verse, Kendrick not only honors Holiday's legacy, but also critiques the societal forces and personal demons that led to her demise. By framing her story within the context of reincarnation, Kendrick invites listeners to reflect on the enduring impact of these lives and the cycles of struggles they represent. In the third and final verse of Reincarnated, Kendrick takes us on an introspective journey, switching perspectives one last time to deliver a striking revelation. In these lines, he speaks from his current life as himself.
My present life is Kendrick Lamar, a rapper looking at the lyrics to keep you in awe.
However, through the perspective of Lucifer, he reflects on his reincarnations and how his current role as an artist serves a higher purpose. Lucifer, speaking through Kendrick, frames his life as a journey of redemption, using his music to inspire, uplift, and heal instead of manipulate.
My father kicked me out the house, I finally forgive him. I'm old enough to understand the way I was living.
In these lines, he speaks from three perspectives. The first one is as Kendrick Lamar. This line references Kendrick's personal relationship with his father, Kenny Duckworth, explored in Father Time on Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers.
I come from a generation of home invasions, and I got daddy issues, that's on me.
The second one from a past life. This ties back to the first verse, where being kicked out of the house symbolizes his past struggles that led to his downfall. Through reincarnation, he grows to understand and forgive. The third one is as Lucifer. This ultimate settlement occurs with God, contrasting Christians' interpretations of Lucifer being cast out of heaven.
Ego and pride had me looking at him with resentment.
In these lines, he explores the cardinal sin of pride that caused Lucifer fall from grace and connects Kendrick's personal struggles with ego. His pride mirrors the sin that led both Lucifer and himself in his past and present lives to fall.
I close my eyes hoping that I don't come off contentious. I'm yelling, Father, did I finally get it right? Everything I did was selfless.
Kendrick shifts to a vulnerable prayer-like state, asking for validation from God and his earthly father. This draws on themes of seeking approval while striving for redemption. This also references to his Damn and Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers albums that reveal Kendrick's lifelong struggles to balance ego and humility while battling his inner demons.
I spoke freely when the people needed me, I helped them.
In these lines, he emphasizes his dedication to being a voice for the voiceless, where he openly shares his pain to help his audience.
I didn't gloat, even told them no when the vultures came. Took control of my fleshly body when the money changed.
The word vultures symbolize corrupt individuals who circled Kendrick when he rose to fame. tempting him to repeat his past sins. The phrase money change ties to both Kendrick's self-control in resisting the pitfalls of fame and a biblical allusion to money changers on Matthew chapter 21 verse 12 through 13, where Jesus expels merchants from the temple. This adds depth, framing Kendrick's actions as an effort to follow a righteous path.
Son, you do well, but your heart is closed. I can tell residue that linger from your past creates itself.
God acknowledges Kendrick's good deeds but points out the spiritual residue from his past lives. This residue symbolizes unresolved sins and guilt that trap him in a metaphorical cell, preventing donation to LA charities and a pop-out concert where he united artists and rival gang members on one stage.
But you love war. No, I don't. Oh, yes, you do.
God challenges this claim, pointing out Kendrick's violent tendencies, a recurring theme in The Blacker the Berry,
when gangbanging make me kill a nigga blacker than me, hypocrite,
and his June 2024 diss track 616 in LA.
God, my confession is yours, but who am I if I don't go to war?
God conversation shifts. God reveals in the following line that Kendrick and his past lives have been motivated by Lucifer. From here on, the conversation is between God and Kendrick or Lucifer, and if you listen closely, Kendrick reflects this by rapping with a tripled voice effect. God is three in one, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, thus called being trine. This symbolizes God's nature, Isaiah chapter 14 verse 12, describing Lucifer's fall due to pride and rebellion. The prophecy highlights themes of downfall and redemption, mirroring Kendrick's struggles in life and music. This whole song references the idea of the industry and the devil being tied together, and the song speaks about the industry falling out of God's eye and into the devil's influence. And in the next slides, the long pause signals the next reference, with God calling the devil his.
My greatest music director was you. It was colors, it was pinks, it was reds, it was blues, it was harmony and motion.
Lucifer is traditionally considered an angel of music, symbolizing his influence on creativity and harmony. This nod to vibrant colors parallels Ezekiel's description of the devil's decoration with precious stones, reinforcing Lucifer's connection to beauty and music.
I sent you down to earth because you was broken. Rehabilitation, not psychosis.
God affirms Lucifer's musicality but chastises him for how his influence has played out in the lives of musical superstars and is now playing out in Kendrick's life, constantly tempting him with pride, ego, violence, lust, and war. These themes are constantly in Kendrick's music. However, unlike Lucifer, God here says he did this for Kendrick's transformation and rehabilitation. When God says,
but now we here now, centuries you manipulated man with music, embodied you as superstars to see how you moving.
It reveals that Lucifer, and Kendrick as a stand-in, has been reincarnated as various musicians over the years. These artists gifted with music were tested to see if they changed from the pride and sins that caused Lucifer's fall.
You came a long way from garnishing evilish views.
However, each time they gave into temptation, leading others confused and dying by their vices. This connects back to Kendrick's past life regression at the start of the song, where he experienced the lives of these superstars now revealed to be previous incarnations of Lucifer. His realization that his past sins were driven by misguided need for acceptance, whether from God as Lucifer or his earthly father as Kendrick. Still, God expresses doubt and demands a promise.
So can you promise that you won't take your gifts for granted? I promise that I use my gifts to bring understanding.
Kendrick's answer is powerful. He doesn't promise perfection because he knows he's human, flawed, and capable of falling again.
For heavy man, woman, and child, how much can you vow? I found my life just to live one in harmony now. I rewrote the devil's story just to take our power back. Reincarnated.